Alright, got the metal off here. And they say they blow their machines off every day. That was a lie. Okay, let's blow this off, see where it's leaking. Welcome back to Fix Dish, everybody. Today I have a forklift with a special rotator on the front. And this is a Caterpillar PD 12,000. And the chief complaint is leaking. Let's see what our leak is. I'm gonna say it's somewhere over here. Holy crap. Yeah, look at all that. So this ends up being a relatively straightforward leak repair. However, it's kind of unique in the way that it actually failed, which you'll end up seeing here shortly. But let's go ahead and blow this machine off. Hopefully it starts. Glowing. Oh. Almost 30,000 hours. Starts like a dream, baby. Oh, the more you look, the worse it gets. That's a breather, if you didn't know that. Really breathing good. See if we can figure out what's leaking here. I think it's over here because this was like a big glob of wet dirt. Oh, right there. Look at that. The whole valve kind of moves too. Some of that off too. Tighten up that valve. Yeah. All of those bolts need tightened up. The whole valve is loose. So we'll do that too. We'll tighten up all the bolts that hold this valve in there. I already broke the line loose. I tried tightening it and it didn't stop leaking anymore, so I'm gonna take it off, take a look at it, see what's going on here. This is a power steering hose, or hard line, and it was on there really tight. Not exactly breaking loose here, so I can't see underneath that thing. So let's pull pull this apart and see what's going on here. Oh my gosh, this thing is not coming out well. Not a good sign, that's for sure. Probably end up getting a whole new line. Yeah, especially if they cross-thread this thing, I'd be so pissed if that's what it was. If any of you have ever worked on forklifts, you'll know they make it super simple to get in here. And I would take this out of here, but you gotta take these plastic panels off to get the bolts underneath here to get that off. So, you know what? I'm just gonna struggle bus. Get this out of here. That sounds way more reasonable than taking off a few more panels. I like to actually take this brake assembly out of here, but that's a job on these lifts. Oh my gosh, this thing is in there freaking tight. If I had to bet, this thing is so cross-threaded. I forgot to record the rest of getting this off here, but I went ahead and ordered a new one because I couldn't exactly figure out what was wrong with this thing. So let's see if I can lock the focus in here. See that little weird spot is in the tube? I don't think that's a crack, because it's where the double flare is actually where it seals. This part right here. I don't see anything that necessarily stands out or that it's cracked or anything. Maybe it's cracked right there. Yeah, I think that's cracked. I didn't even see that before. I was about to tell you that I didn't know. Yeah, I can get my fingernail in there. I was about to tell you I didn't know what was wrong. The threads aren't balled up or anything. I meshed them up here. You know, thread to thread. It doesn't look crazy or anything. Let's see if I can get this to face you better. Looks like they sit down on each other just fine. So, not entirely sure. Looking at the new construction of this one, I don't see anything out of the ordinary, but yeah, let's get this new one put on here. Can't even really see the seam of this tube. Oh, there it is, right there. So, I don't know. Let's put it on there, let's find out. Well, it's significantly warmer today than it was yesterday, that's for sure. It's t-shirt weather. Hopefully this threads in better than that old one threaded out, because that other one's sick. Oh dude, that threads in 10,000 times easier. Alright, I got my line wrench. These are experts, basically like the Mac equivalent of like a blue point or something. There you see you got plenty of float room in there.
So right here I'm doing what's called deadheading the hydraulics. I'm turning the steering wheel until it reaches the end of its stroke, and then holding it there, that's deadheading. And then next I'll run the RPM up in the engine so it sees the most pressure that line will see.
Looks like we win the day on this one, folks. So I gotta check it out, see if there's any other leaks, but I got our main concern handled. Let's check our fluid level, since we know they like to check everything here. This is a dust-free option. It's basically a filter on the breather of the hydraulic tank.
be somewhere in here. This machine is a AW32, ISO 32, 10 weight. Like a bartender pouring a drink, baby. Bartender. Give me an old fashioned. Let's see what we got. Alright. 3rd gallon. Where's that put us? Puts us right there. We're right in line. We are on a downhill, so I think once we get on a flat ground, it'll be definitely in the normal range. Whoa. There we go. My first time, guys. Jump. Clean up our mess from that line dripping. Clean up on this valve a little bit. See if anything else is leaking on it. So while I was doing my walk around, look what I found. Broke off stud and lost nut. I've been running it hot and heavy for a minute. I don't see any drips to the floor, at least that I can tell. There's so much dirt on this machine. Hard to tell if something's leaking or not. 30,000 hours basically. Original motor, original trans. It did get an injection pump a year ago. As you can tell, they don't exactly take care of this the best. Check this out. I thought the chains were making a funky noise when they were going up, and they were. So there is so much gappage here, here, compared to this base link. You see how tight that gap is? It's, 1/16. This is like 1/4 inch. Those chains are smoked. They're gonna need to change these. We got most of this cleaned up. I clean this breather out of this transmission. That thing was so crazy full. That was insane. Is it 3/4? Oh, it is. Hell yeah. Try to be nice to this transmission. It's 30,000 hours on this kitty. I don't want someone talking smack saying cats are crap. Caterpillar sucks. Yeah, look at that. Breathe how. Yeah, there's supposed to be holes all over the perimeter. That's cleaned it off. Yeah, you can tell that breather was happy.
See, it's little things like that that count. That was like what? 30 seconds? That was totally worth it. There we go. That's happy. There. Transmission can breathe. Check your trans fluid. Now this is one of the goofiest transmissions I've ever had to check. It's run for 5 minutes, rest for 2, then check. And you can see, maybe you can see, we're right there in the hash marks, we're good. Alright, let's move on. I got the transmission checked, hydraulics checked. There's no brake fluid on this one. Ooh. Wipe that off. That looks low. Low. How low can it go? Oh yeah. So there's high. There's low. We're just above it. So we're gonna add a quart. 1540 conventional. So here I am standing on a soapbox. I think that there's something missing from our industry or our current servicer. I'm there for a specific repair, and I could just do that repair and move on with my day and go on to something else. But while I'm working on the machine, I like to look at things, look it over. Stuff that's visual. You don't need to measure anything. But, just checking fluids, for example, it's relatively simple. It's really quick. You don't see the machine all the time. Most of these guys don't look at their fluids anyways. So this is just the little extra mile that I like to go that I think makes all the difference. And now I'll step off my soapbox. All right, guys, so got this one done. We're up and running again, leak free. Definitely need some stuff addressed here in the near future, but I'd say for right now we are fixed-ish.